Hi, everyone. I'm not sure if you saw, but we came to you live yesterday for our first go run at our live segment and had some technical difficulties. So we are trying to work on that still. And this is, kind of our opportunity to allow you to see that segment that we did yesterday. But really just asking for a little bit of patience and understanding. We really are going to be finding our way together throughout all of this change and technology. Do you see what I did there? Finding our way together. That's the name of our show. Finding Our Way Together, MAPS Support. I'm Dana, and we are MAPS. I know what you're asking. What is MAPS? We're part of the University of Pittsburgh School of Education and Allegheny County Drug and Alcohol Prevention Programs. Maximizing Adolescent Potentials, MAPS, is a research, public service, and training program. We're dedicated to the prevention of drug and alcohol problems among youth, the promotion of adolescent mental health, and the development of capable young people. We work with families, schools, communities, and children and adolescents all across Allegheny County in a variety of settings. MAPS is certified by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Health, Office of Drug and Alcohol Programs. We are MAPS. And given the current climate, our jobs, like most of yours, look different right now. But we really want to be able to continue to fulfill our roles and offer support and hope to those in our communities. And that's exactly what this live weekly segment is going to be all about. A few weeks ago, we sent out a parent survey that actually went nationwide. We got responses from all over. And the whole purpose of that was to find out, what are your challenges right now? What are your stressors? What are your hopes? And what are your needs? So we reviewed all of that data, and based on your responses, that is what is going to be guiding this live weekly segment. With all of that said, please know that we are coming to you as parents and professionals, but the thoughts and opinions that we express are our own. They're not a reflection on the University of Pittsburgh or the districts that we serve. With all of that said, I want to introduce you to all of my colleagues. We want to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So again, my name is Dana. I have a master's in education in school counseling. I'm currently a behavioral health liaison in a local school district serving students in grades K through 12. I have 15 plus years experience in the mental health and education fields. I am married and have two wonderful children. This is my colleague, Dave.
Hi, my name is David. I've got, oh goodness, I don't want to think about how many years experience in the field. I've got about 16 years experience in the field. I've got a master's degree in applied developmental psychology. And I'm married, I have one child, and I really enjoy getting the chance to work with young people to overcome whatever issues they have. I'm going to turn you over to my colleague, Bevan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bevan Kovalik. I have a master's degree in social work. I'm also a behavior health liaison with MAPS, working in multiple school districts in Allegheny County, working with students and families. Since quarantine, my husband and I have both been working from home. We also have a fourth grader. So we, like many of you, are trying to balance that school, work, parenting life during this big change. And I'm going to introduce my coworker, Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie. I have been with MAPS a little under a year, and I've been in the field for over 20 years. I've been in school districts in Pittsburgh Public, as well as most recently Chartiers Valley. I'm one of the prevention specialists with MAPS, and I also have 4 children. I am married, and I very much enjoy doing the work that I've been recently doing. I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to my coworker, Lori.
Hi, I'm L'Oreal Trudeau. I have been in the field for 15 plus years. I am a SAP liaison, and I'm in several districts within Allegheny County. I am married, and I have 3 children, an 8-year-old and 2 6-year-olds. So I am home working and struggling to teach my kiddos. So we've decided just to add a new puppy to our lives next week. So that's what we're doing. My coworker Kara is up next.
Great. Lori, did you decide on a name for your puppy yet?
Charlie.
Charlie. We can't wait to meet Charlie someday. Hi, everybody. My name's Kara Kelly. Obviously, I'm also part of the MAPS team. A little over 2 years now. I have 19 years experience in the mental health field. I have a Master's of Education degree from Slippery Rock in school counseling. Yeah, the struggle is real, people. I have 3 teenagers and a husband, and we've all been working from home with work, school, and trying to manage that. So I feel ya. I'm so excited that we're doing this for all of you, and I think helping ourselves too. I work in several school districts supporting students in their mental health needs, and also love doing some of the prevention work with my coworkers. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Anne.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anne. I work for the University of Pittsburgh MAPS program along with everyone else. I have about 32 years of experience in the field. 30 of them are actually with the MAPS program. So I've seen the program go through a lot of shifts and a lot of changes. It's a very dynamic program that can respond to the needs of the people, the needs of the mental health community, etc. I work K to 12, and I also have a private practice where I serve children, couples, and families. And I am very interested in helping the development of especially young women and social justice issues to be brought to light through our discussions and our research. So that's what I have to give to you for today. And in order to help shape our next steps in this web presentation, I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you some ground rules that we have for any discussion and participation in this event and future events as well. We want you to know that this is not designed here as a therapeutic or counseling forum. However, we are here to encourage people to come together to share their experiences and then to hopefully walk away with some ideas that can bolster what you are doing with your families and with your work and communities in a way that helps foster your resilience and that of those around you. In order to get that started, we are going to be using a format that's quite positive in terms of framing. And our Kara Kelly is going to start by posing some questions to you for your consideration. Kara?
Yeah, thanks, Anne. Thanks for, those guidelines for this forum is so important. We want this to be a positive forum where we can answer your questions, your concerns, if you need certain resources. But yeah, thank you so much, Anne. So kind of how we're going to do this, and if there's no one on there yet so far today, we're just going to kind of go as professionals and parents ourselves. And so we're on day 55 of this quarantine, COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you're calling it these days, but 55 days in. So from the beginning to now, and things are about to change, but we're all home for the duration, especially our kids with school. I'm kind of wondering where everybody's mindset is. I know I've gotten a lot of feedback with the districts and students and other parents that everybody's kind of hitting a wall and over it or whatever. So I kind of just want to put it out to you guys, kind of where's your mindset and what are you thinking and feeling right now, day 55?
I'll speak to kind of where I'm at personally and where things are in my household. When this first started, I think that everybody was kind of like, all right, we can do this, we got this. And I don't know if that was we were running off of adrenaline or what it was, but I feel like momentum was good, attitudes were positive. I feel like as time has gone on, personally speaking, there's been a shift. And this has just gotten harder. This has gotten very draining, physically draining, emotionally draining. However, I've noticed that my kids have seemed to adapt better. I don't know if that's been the experience of anybody else, but when we first started, I feel like it was really, really hard on my kids because there was no warning about this. All of a sudden, school was done, friends were done, can't go to the park, all of that. And that was really, really hard. But now it seems that they've adjusted, they've adapted. This is their new norm, sadly, and they're okay. Whereas us adults, again, just speaking for myself, we were like, when is this going to end? I don't like this new norm. So that's where I am. I'm trying to see positive in every day, though, because there is some. Like, most certainly, I have loved the extra time with my kids. Yes, it's trying, but that is priceless. So there has been positives. We've been forced to slow down. I realized I don't need to go to Target as often as I used to. So that bank card is paid off. I don't have Target to worry about anymore. So there have been positives, but it's tough. That's
Yeah.
me.
I hear you, Dana, and it's so important for all of us to concentrate on those positives. Where are the rest of you guys at with your mindset?
I can definitely speak next. I think for me, the hardest part is not being able to see family. I mean, my wife and my son, of course, I enjoy the time with them, and I really enjoy spending more time with my son. My wife and I have had to trade off duties, kind of with the homeschooling because we're both still working from home. So, we have to kind of arrange our schedules. And sometimes it even bleeds into the weekend a little bit, just because it gives us more time day to day to kind of manage things we have to do. And, he might have a lesson or two, something to do on a Saturday or a Sunday, but nothing, full blown. But for me, the hardest part is my extended family. I have a decent amount of extended family who I have, been either afraid to go see because they're older, or I just, didn't want to, disobey any orders or do anything I shouldn't be doing, or I'm trying to stay healthy, try to stay safe. And so we have a lot of conversations, more than we used to, which I think is good, but I also don't see them as often. So that's kind of been the more frustrating part for me. I'm definitely feeling the whole Target thing. I used to do that, just to keep busy once in a while. And, you walk in, and I always joke that Target should change their slogan to, I bet you can't spend less than $200. But, I have found that I do a lot less of that, and we do a lot less like eating out. And I spend more time cooking, which has become its own challenge, just trying to keep things fresh when you're making meals for your family every night or whatever. But yeah, I think missing my family is probably the hardest part, not being able to go see families or schedule vacations or things like that, because you just don't know, when you're going to do, when things are going to be open, when you're going to be able to go wherever. And I think that's probably the hardest part for me. But I would say how we're coping overall is we're doing pretty well. I've actually been getting along with my family really well. There's been very little in the way of arguments, even bickering. I think probably like less so than normal, honestly.
Lucky for you, David. I know some of us others are not experiencing that peaceful household at times.
Well, I think for me, it was something like when I was a kid, I grew up with my mom and my sister, and we were actually very far from my extended family. We grew up in New England, or I grew up in New England. So it was very far away from a lot of family, and we didn't fight a lot as I got older. And I always wondered why that was. And I think I talked to my mom about it once, and she said that maybe we didn't fight as much because we realized that we were kind of all we had. Like, you couldn't go to your aunt's or your uncle's house or go see your cousins or spend time. Like, you didn't have that outlet. And I wonder that now, because we're in this quarantine, we're stuck at home or with family, if my family kind of has the same thought process going on subconsciously, or however you want to put it. We're just kind of like, hey, we can't afford to be bickering about stuff. We got to, make sure everyone's happy and doing okay. And, and I think for me, that bleeds over into just checking on my friends and checking on my family, more often than not. The idea that kind of this is what it is. We gotta buckle down, and we gotta be advocating for each other, not against. So I'm gonna turn it over to Bevan, see what you have been doing.
Thanks, Dave. On a lighthearted note, like I've also been missing Target big time, but seriously, when all this first started, I would wake up really anxious and already feeling overwhelmed about, well, how's the day going to play out? How are we, my husband and son and I, going to coordinate all these Zoom meetings with minimal technical glitches? And then we started settling into a better routine. So day 55, like I would say that we're doing much better. One thing that I wanted to share, because it's still a roller coaster, like we'll have our good days and then we'll have our hard days, and then we'll be having our confusing days, like when is this going to end, all the uncertainty. But I've been trying to get outside at lunchtime, rain or shine, with my dog and my son, and either walking or biking. And even if we're just outside for like 15-20 minutes, and then again at like 4 o'clock. And that has really helped because you get fresh air and you just kind of reset. So for me, that's been like a good part of our daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I think getting outside is a game changer on the days that you can. So I don't know what's going on with our weather today, but still try to get outside.
And Bevan, on that, yes, I've also been getting outside a lot. That's how I've been dealing with a lot of this. My husband and I go hiking a lot. We try to walk a lot at some of the parks. Still, keeping our distance from everybody else, and it's been really difficult. I think it's been more difficult I have 3 teenagers at home, and I have 1 in the military. And it's been really, really difficult for us because, well, they're teenagers, number one. They're missing their friends. They don't understand that their friends can't come over right now. Even though they're teenagers, they just get angry about it. They're frustrated. They're missing their social life, and that's what teenagers do, right? They socialize constantly. They're on their phones. But we've seen less on the phones and more conversations, like FaceTime. They're actually, more than just texting back and forth now. We're seeing more of that. But it's been a challenge here too, because there's so many of us. There's 5 of us logging into different, areas all day long. My husband's on his calls. I'm on my calls. My kids are trying to do their work and talk to their teachers. So finding space has been a real challenge for us during this time. But we've all been managing really well. And day 55, we finally, I think, got it down a little bit, where the kids are actually sleeping a little later so that my husband and I can actually get more work done, and we don't have to stop and pause in the middle of our day to help with homework assignments or, schoolwork. So, I mean, it's been real challenging, but, especially for my son in the military, we were hoping to go see him in May and that this month. And I don't think that's going to happen because he's still, quarantined to the base. So it's kind of been rough, but we keep talking. He calls every day.
Good. Thanks, Julie. Lori, how's it been going over at your household? I think you're on mute.
How many times do we hear that phrase these days? Unmute yourself.
All the time.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Great. It's been a juggling act. My husband works out in the community, so I'm home alone with my kids trying to work. And as you could see my face earlier, my daughter was trying to pour apple juice into a small cup, and I could just imagine it spilling all over the place. So I'm relying on my 8-year-old to help me get breakfast and help things out. So she's been a big help. We do have the roller coasters of fighting every other minute. Vincenzo was mad because Angelina was making him his breakfast today instead of myself. So he was kicking her as we're on this meeting. So it's been a real challenge for us, but I think we've all found our new norm. My son Vincenzo loves to watch TV all day, And well, that keeps him quiet so I could work. So sometimes that's what happens. But we do try to get outside, ride bikes, and we have a swing set outside. So I encourage them to get outside and play. So it's, I guess our new normal is crazy, still chaotic, but we're making do. Cooking dinner is also another challenge. I don't feel like cooking anymore. My kids are tired of eating the same thing, so I need to get more adventurous and find something to do to cook. The Target runs, totally miss Target. I did do some shopping online for the new puppy, so I'm excited about that. Hope it gets here before she does, so we'll see what happens. But, it's a challenge. Every day is a new day, and there's new adventures every day. So,
Yeah.
but day 55, I think we're surviving.
Thanks, Lori. Yeah, and I hear a lot of people. I myself, there's 5 of us, and I already had 2 dogs, and added 4 chickens and 2 ducks to the Kelly household during this. So, why not? Gives us something new to do. Hey, Ann, how's it going for you?
Unmute.
Hi guys. Yeah, it's different for me because I've raised my family, so I'm more like on the grandparent end of experiencing this. So for those grandparents out there, or parents of young moms, it's heartbreaking to watch the stress that young moms and dads are going through. And I guess what I can say is with the years, years I have lived, I can bring some comfort and support to folks who are in the middle of raising families and wondering, oh my gosh, how do I get all this done? And am I doing the right thing? But of course you are. That when we act in love and when we move through that and we move from that, we are making differences. I think too, for people in my age category, there are concerns, financial ones, that come up about, wow, am I going to have a job? I'm close to retirement, and what do I do? And again, for me, the ways that I interpret that include coming from a place of positivity and love, and that whole adage of this too shall pass, which I believe greatly, this too shall pass. And I love what I'm seeing in terms of the togetherness that families are experiencing, even though I know it can be maddening at times, especially when you can't get some of your own space. But I think ultimately I am experiencing it this way, that it is all about growth, change, and adaptation. And I think that we will, all of us, individually and as a group, come out of this in a much stronger way.
Thank you, Ann. Yeah, that was a wonderful sentiment, and I think we can all relate to that and hope the same thing. And as we continue this, I know that we don't know what that future looks like. We don't know what that new norm's going to be as things open up. And I know there are so many families struggling with working, not working, financial issues. When the kids are out of school in 3 weeks, what are we going to do with our kids all summer? We're hearing that the community pools and the playgrounds and the camps aren't going to happen. So we're here to discuss all this with everybody to keep that positivity and hope alive. And that's kind of the format. Checking in, asking how everybody's doing. What are you having a hard time with? And then always ending with something positive and what's been helping you. And I think we kind of discussed the positive coping skills and what's kind of been helping our families here within MAPS. So Ann, so in kind of saying that, Ann, do you want to take it away again? Yeah.
Sure. This has been actually very delightful to be a part of this and watching everyone's smiling face. And I hope we have some folks that were listening in. And if not, I know we're going to have a lot more next week. which is our next little webinar here. What am I calling this? A webinar, a Facebook Live will take place next Friday, May 15th, which happens to be my birthday, at 10 o'clock in the morning. And one of the topics that we are wanting to discuss was the most answered question in our parent survey, which was regarding the work-home balance that all of us are trying to achieve in a way that is as positive as it can be. So bring your questions next time about what it's like, what you might think would be helpful, maybe some questions about, wow, I have this particular thing that's super stinking hard, and I'm wondering if other folks have some ideas to help make it be a little more palatable and a little less stressful. So that'll be next week, 5/15, May 15th at 10. And before I go, and this is no slight to dudes, of course, but it's Mother's Day on Sunday. And I want to make sure that I say to all of my colleagues, happy Mother's Day. Thank you for the love, the care, and the persistence that you put out there for your children and your families. And same to all of our listeners. It's a beautiful day, and it is a way to honor one half of our parenting team. And dads, you'll have your half next month. So happy Mother's Day to all of you.
Thank you,
Thank
Anne.
you
Right
too,
back.
Thank you, Anne.
And happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
One more thing before we go, I just want to share that we had some people that were a little concerned about mental health issues. And I just wanted to share some numbers for people out there if needed before we all go. And these are the local county crisis numbers, the crisis text lines in the National Suicide Prevention, as well as National Domestic Violence Hotline. We know some of us are struggling a little more than others, and we just wanted to put out there these numbers in case you need them for more support.
Thanks,
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. We look forward to seeing you all again, and hopefully many more next week. Happy Mother's Day, team. Dave, happy non-Mother's Day. Take care of your wife.
That's right.
Don't worry, plans are in the works, folks.
There you go.
Everybody take care.
Take care. Happy Friday, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.